What if the reason that you have the dreams you do is because there is a future version of you that already lived them out? Greetings, beautiful being. Welcome back to my channel, Rising with Rachel. I am Rachel, and together we rise in talking about all things cosmic and consciousness. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, as it does help our silly little human earthly algorithm. As much as I don't want to be a part of that, I do want to be a part of spreading the messages that are so deeply needed to be planted as little seeds in the collective human consciousness during this crucial time, as we are on the forefront of the biggest spiritual revolution in all of human history. As these seeds of awareness start to bloom in people's mindsets and we start to remember our own power and start to heal ourselves, to elevate our own vibrations, we then implement positive energy into Earth's crystalline grid system and help our planet embody the fifth dimensional Earth that she was always meant to be. And it starts with you and me and our awareness. So let's get into it. Today, I want to talk to you about one of the most far out experiences that we have as human beings living a life here on Earth in this third dimensional matrix. And that is the fact that we are able to tap into the future through our imagination. We are, in our true nature, beings of light. We are multi-dimensional beings. The way that we think time works in this linear fashion is only true to the third dimensional matrix that we live in. Outside of Earth's gravitational pull, there is no space and time. Time is multidimensional. I don't know if you've ever watched The Good Place on Netflix. I highly recommend it if you haven't. But the best way to describe it is this one scene that I absolutely adore. It's where one of the main characters is trying to explain how time is multidimensional in nature.
Because while time on Earth moves in a straight line, one thing happens, then the next, then the next. Time in the afterlife moves in a 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗓𝗪.
What?
In the afterlife, time doubles back and loops around and ends up looking something like 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗓𝗪. This is the timeline in the afterlife. Happens to kind of look like the name 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗓𝗪 in cursive English, so that's what we call it.
Sorry, my brain is melting. How can events happen before the ones that happened before?
Just the way it works. It's 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗓𝗪. I don't know what to tell you. That's the easiest way to describe it.
Okay, but what the hell is this? The dot over the I. The hell is that?
Okay, how do I explain this concisely? This is Tuesdays and also July.
And sometimes it's never.
That's true. Occasionally, that moment on the 𝗪𝗓𝗪 timeline is the time moment when nothing never occurs. So, you get it.
This broke me.
One of the reasons I love this scene so much is because it is such an interesting thing to think about, how there are so many things that are put in the media, in the entertainment industry that we consume, that is based in so much truth. And it just makes me think, like, who on the team of writers there is connected, but also who is funding that project, because they must also be connected. And maybe they're not. Maybe they're unconscious and unaware of the truth of magic that this writer just handed to them. But it's amazing to think about, because there are seeds that are constantly being planted in the human collective consciousness that we don't even process. Like, somebody who is more asleep that watches The Good Place now has this idea planted in their brain that maybe, just maybe, even if it's against their beliefs, maybe it's true that time could work a little funky like this scene. And that's the magic of it. It's opening these doors that allow people to walk through if they choose. But regardless, I love that scene because it is true. That is exactly how time works. Sometimes it's the I. That being said, since time is not linear, past, present, and future version of us all exist at this exact moment. We are just locked into this point of view, but we actually time travel even when we think about our memories, because we then go back to the person that we were when we were experiencing the thing that we are reflecting on, and in this now moment embody that old version of us, which is why a lot of the times as well memories can be so painful. It's because your brain doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future. Your brain experiences whatever you're feeling as its now moment. So if you are reflecting on a memory that was happy, but this relationship ended and this person ended up hurting you and now you're feeling kind of sad, it's because your brain placed itself as you back then in that experience and is feeling those feelings now. It's acting as that version of you now. So it might come up that maybe you're still hurt, maybe you feel a little sad, but then of course that's when current you anchors in and says, okay, but this is no longer our story. This person is no longer a part of our life. We're free, we're happier, all the good things. Reflecting on your memories is a form of time travel. But what I came to talk about today, most importantly, is the fact that we are able to access the future through our imagination. So we access the past through our memories, but we access the future through our imagination. The reason that we have an imagination is because they are psychic foresights. It is us tapping into the infinite potential timelines that we could possibly be embodying. Because another thing is that every timeline you could ever think of already exists. If you think that there is a timeline where you own a pink dragon, there is a timeline where you own a pink dragon. You would not have been able to think the thought unless it was something that was real. It's the same way where you can't envision a color that you've never seen, right? You can't, because you've never seen it. It's the same thing with our imagination. We cannot envision an idea, a future for ourselves, feeling, whatever it is, if there wasn't a future version of us that already accessed or came across or interacted with the thing that we are imagining. Which is why it's so crucial to pay attention to your imagination, to listen to your imagination, to follow your imagination, and to think outside of the box of what's possible for you, because that is future you letting you know that those things are real and could be tangible to the present you if you allow yourself to be open to them, if you do the work to make those things a tangible reality, you know? If you feel that it's in your birthright to have a big, beautiful dream house on the beach one day, that's incredible. And there is a timeline of which you certainly have it, but you cannot step on that timeline and make it a real, tangible reality unless you put in the work to getting a good job that pays off that house. Life itself is a collaborative effort. This is a coexistence with you, the universe, source energy, and absolutely everything and everybody that's around you. Even though it's all you from one perspective, it's also not, and it's a collaborative effort. That was something I struggled with in the beginning of my spiritual journey, because I almost was spiritually gaslighting myself, where I was like, okay, I know I'm so supported by the universe and that abundance is my birthright and meant to be financially secure and have this person that's madly in love with me and have a happy family life and all those things. But I also thought that I would just attract them by just being me and not necessarily needing to do anything. And while from one perspective that is true, you don't need to do anything, you are always where you are supposed to be. If you are not doing the inner work, even if you are not doing tangible work, if you are not doing the inner work, because sometimes you don't always have to do the physical work, right? Maybe sometimes you win the lottery for $316 billion and you get the house by winning the lottery. But you have to be in the place energetically where you are the winner of that lottery ticket. Because I promise you, if you are in this mindset of lack, of things always happen to me, of insecurity, of instability, you're not going to be in a space energetically to go and buy that lottery ticket and say, maybe there's a better future for me. Maybe I know the chances are slim, but I could be the 1 in 25 millionth person to win this. See what I mean? Even if you're not doing the work physically, you have to be doing the work internally, energetically, because that's what makes you the magnet for the greater things and for all the things that you can feel in your imagination. This is also why, if you've ever watched Abraham Hicks, she talks so much about manifesting through feeling. Because again, your brain doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future you. So when you feel the feelings now that you would have when you receive the things that live in your imagination, that live in your dream world, that collapses the timeline between future you and current you. So if you experience having that dream house right now and you feel that freedom here, when you are in your studio apartment, that collapses the timeline and allows you to embody future you right now, which then makes you a energetic magnet for the things that future you has. This is also why it's crucial on just letting the past go, because also you time travel, like I just mentioned, to the past through your memories. So if you are constantly reflecting on your memories, right, then you are keeping yourself in the energetics of the past, and then you are going to draw to you more thoughts, more feelings that are based on things that you already navigated in the past. My main point of this video being, once again, that it is so cool and amazing, bizarre, that we as human beings have the ability to tap into our future through our imagination. Like, what do you mean? That is so incredible. That is so multidimensional. That is so mind-blowing, that the things that we feel in our imagination, that we dream of, we could not dream of unless there was a future version of us that already has it. And I don't know about you, but that makes me feel so much more secure that there is a version of me that already achieved those things. And that's the reason I'm able to feel them right now, or I'm able to imagine a better better future for myself. And it certainly gives me more motivation because I know that it's possible. I would not have been able to have this thought, this daydream, if that future version of me didn't already come across it. And that for me makes me want to bridge the gap so much quicker. It's like, okay, well, what could I do right now to further assist that? Imagination is such a powerful tool. Time is such a powerful tool, and time is something that I think as a collective we are going to start to understand more of in its multidimensional nature, because we are starting to understand how we in our nature are multidimensional. You know, this is we are coming into the truth of who we are and what it is that we are supposed to do here. And that means discovering the truth of who we are as humans, of who we are as these beings of light, and who we are as these vessels of source energy, and how we are all connected to everything and everyone around us. We are connected to the people, the animals, the walls, the plants. I am connected to this microphone. Me and this microphone are the same. And to some, that will sound crazy, but to the ones that know, they know. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the magic that is found in our imagination and why you should never lose hope on the things that you're envisioning for yourself or you're thinking about in your imagination, because again, you would not be able to conceptualize of them unless it was true that a future version of you came across those things. So let your imagination be your beacon of hope, that whatever you can feel for yourself is possible, maybe just one day in the future. It doesn't matter if you're hanging on by a tiny little hair. That is a true reality. Let that be your hope. Let that be your motivator. Let that be the reason that you finally decide to take inspired action on recording the YouTube video, on selling the ebook, doing the birth charts, on doing whatever it is that you offer to help yourself bridge that gap. Again, this is a co-collaborative effort. You cannot just hope your way into a better future. You have to be doing the work. You have to be taking the tangible actions, whether it's internally or externally. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to deliver this message a little bit shorter today, but I definitely just wanted to tap into the magic of what it means to be a human navigating consciousness, and the fact that we have all of these really amazing multidimensional tools that we don't even process, like our imagination, because we were never taught how it is that they are a tool. The people that are in the know, that want to keep us asleep, have done so by telling us that our imagination is our imagination and that these things are not real, that your imaginary friend was not really in the room. But this is the divinely planned time. The universe knows what it's doing. The age of Aquarius is here, baby, where we are all waking up to this truth of our multidimensional nature and who we are. And it's an honor to be here with you, honestly, because if you're watching this video, that means that you are one of the leaders. You are one of the way showers. Even if you don't know of which ways you lead, you are a thought leader, or someone that is paving a path and developing your own awareness and your consciousness and your connection to everything around you and the consciousness of everything around you. And through your embodiment of knowledge you intake and turn to wisdom, you are planting these seeds in Earth's crystalline grid system for others. This really amazing quote that I read once was that your guru doesn't teach you the way, they are the way. So through their embodiment, you learn. And that's exactly what you're doing by just watching this video. Simply by embodying your awareness, you then are that beacon of hope for others, because just through your living, breathing example, others are able to see your open-mindedness, your authenticity, your truth, the way that you're trying to navigate truth, and that inspires others. And then the work that you do also simultaneously is implementing positive energy into Earth's crystalline grid system, which is accessible for people whether they consciously realize it or not at every given moment in time, because again, time is multidimensional, right? So that energy is planted in a little seed in the ground that will blossom somewhere around the world without you even realizing it. And that's the beauty of doing this work. So thank you, Soldier, for being on the forefront of the spiritual revolution with me, because as you heal yourself, you also heal the entire collective. As you learn more about the truth of who you are, you share the truth of who everybody in the collective is. And that is a gift that keeps on giving. So thank you for being here with me, Soldier. It's an honor to be on the front lines with you. I see you, I honor you, I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.